Hello everyone. I bring you this week's video news from our Chapel View room, a location in which we often hold our adult education experiences. I use this room today because this week's announcement is focusing on somewhat of an instructive purpose to talk about our return to in-person worship. I want to emphasize two particular announcements concerning that. The first is the importance to RSVP your attendance. If you are planning on coming to this Sunday, July 19th, 9:30 a.m. service, it is important that you call the church by noon this Thursday to let us know your family's name and how many people from your family are planning to attend. Of course, you can also email that to us as well by that same deadline. This is very critical for us. And we hope you are cooperative in this, because how we prepare the facility, how we get things ready so that we are all safe will be very much worked around how many people we expect to have in the sanctuary or entering our church building. So that's why it's so critical at this juncture and for the foreseeable future that you RSVP to us. Second, as we know, in the state of Ohio, each county has been given a level of danger, so to speak, with this pandemic. Cuyahoga County is now at a level 3. We have heard news that we are moving toward a level 4. If at the end of this week, usually on Thursday, Governor DeWine announces that Cuyahoga County has entered into a level 4, we will not have worship services this Sunday. Instead, we will cancel them until a time in which the county returns to a level 3. Once it does, we will then set a new date and we will communicate that date to you. So as you watch for a snow blizzard to come, whether there's school or not, please watch those announcements to see if Cuyahoga County is moved to a level 4, in which case we will cancel. Either way, the implementation team and the task force and other volunteers around the church, I'm so appreciative of them, of everything they've been doing, because their work will still not be in vain even if we have to cancel this Sunday, because these things will be in place whenever that time is that we can come back together. So let's hope it's this Sunday. As part of this video, there's going to be some instructions of how you can expect to enter the building on Sunday and what worship itself will be like. We hope it's informative to you so that you have sort of a mindset of what the experience will be. Hopefully, as part of the service this Sunday, we will offer the sacrament of Holy Communion. I wanted to let you know that I will be preparing the elements of the bread and wine for that communion. I will take the proper precautions of safety. However, if you still feel uncomfortable in receiving them, by all means, do not take the sacrament. It is okay. God understands. We understand. In fact, you should have all received a letter in regular mail by now with some of the policies and procedures that will be in place, including a section saying to stay home under certain mindsets or certain health conditions that you are experiencing. If you're not feeling well, if you don't want to wear a face mask or go by other policies, we encourage you to stay home at this time. In the meantime, as we've been saying often, our online worship will continue for the foreseeable future so that we can still worship and be connected as a community of faith. So what follows now is some hopefully instructive videos for you that will prepare you for return to in-person worship, hopefully this Sunday. Before we begin talking about worship, let's remind ourselves of some of the basics. We are certainly requiring masks, and that they be worn in the right way, not simply below the nose, and certainly not below the chin, but in the proper method. While we'll be glad to see one another, remember there is no hugging or shaking of hands. Restroom usage. The restrooms will be open on the first floor, outside the sanctuary, and back by the chapel view room. We ask that one person use them at a time. Of course, children can accompany parents. Move the sign to occupied, go in, use the restroom. And then upon coming out, please change the sign to open. And then use hand sanitizer. Now let us talk briefly about the worship experience. When you enter our church facility, you will be asked to register your name at a desk, and then you'll be ushered to your pew.
Oh, good morning. Come on in.
Hi.
Say, what's your name, please?
Lisa and Scott Linsky.
Okay, Lisa and Scott. Here's some hand sanitizer.
Okay.
Here's a mask if you need it.
We got ours.
You got your mask? Please step over there and an usher will seat you.
Thank you.
How many in your family?
Just one.
Follow at a safe social distance?
The pews. The pews have been sectioned off for safe social distancing. Some pews will not be used and they will be roped off. You will note the eligible pews will be marked on the back with blue markings. Please sit with the party that you came with and where the usher places you. You do not have to sit in a 1-foot segment, but rather the blue markings are important to remind you to keep 6 feet between you and someone else that didn't come with you so that you can be safely social distanced. At the worship service, we plan to offer the sacrament of Holy Communion. As you would imagine, this too will be different than how we were used to taking it. The method will probably likely change through time as well. So initially, what will happen with communion distribution is that it will be the final act of our worship service. You'll be dismissed by sections. When your section is called upon, you would simply come out to the middle pew aisle, wait your turn to come forward and receive communion. You will come to the table, lower your mask, pick up the bread and receive the wine, take the sacrament, we will do one person at a time, and so you will wait in the aisle until it's your turn next. When you are done, simply return your mask to its original position and dispose of your empty cup. Then proceed down the side aisles and then out of the building. If you have a personal item left in the pew, please go in by the outside aisle, pick up that item, and then exit back out that same way and out of the facility. Now I know this sounds like a lot, and there are certainly a number of new logistics involved for us to gather for worship, but verbal announcements will be repeated at the service itself. And we'll have the opportunity to gather together, though it's differently, to hear the Word of God and receive the sacrament of Holy Communion. May God bless us. Well, we are none of us professional actors, but I hope that these portrayals give you some sense of what it's going to be like for coming to worship in this new normal. I thank all who participated in that. In the meantime, please stay healthy, wear a face mask in public, be the church in the world, and take care, dear church.